And I got a couple of housekeeping things while we're getting started here. First of all, the project sheet, it will be on the blog. You can always, kitchentablestamper.com, find project sheets for the videos that I do. Full color photos, all the measurements, supply list. If there's a video, I don't do step-by-step instructions. If it's a online classroom, then you also have step-by-step instructions in there. Hey, Winan. All right, so kitchentablestamper.com, and I will link this one up after I get that post live with the project sheet. kitchentablestamper.com/online classroom is where you can register for online classes with me. This month, or I should say in April, we're doing the Flowering Desert. It's a for Wow Your Friends card class. The class includes, for $30, the Flowering Desert stamp set and the kits to make the 4 cards. You can register for that to go, whether you're local to the Chicago area or not. You can always take my classes to go, and that's at kitchentablestamper.com/online classroom. Something that I always forget to share, but is really important. If you're thinking about joining Stampin' Up! And you join with the Kitchenettes, during Sale-a-bration, you get $50 worth of bonus product in your kit. So instead of $125 for $99 with free shipping, you get $175 worth of product for $99 with free shipping. And when you join Stampin' Up! With the Kitchenettes, you get all of the online classroom classes for free. So just a fun little bonus for being a kitchenette. Gina says beautiful cactus cards. Thank you, Gina. This is our card today, and I wanted to show you a couple of things here. Sale-a-bration ends in just 2.5 days. So if you're holding off on an order, please don't wait until the last day. Stampin' Up! Website can get a little bogged down. It's in the past during Sale-a-bration, on the last couple of days, it's crashed. If you're thinking about joining the Kitchenettes, please do that before the weekend. I doubt that there will be much IT support on Saturday and Sunday. If you're planning on placing an order, don't miss out on the free items. Things sell out and websites get bogged down, so place your orders sooner rather than later. That is my public service announcement. Hi, Kathy. All right, so today our card features the Painted Seasons stamp set and the Painted Seasons Designer Series paper. Look at my big mess of scraps, but I'm going to leave it that way anyways because you can see a lot of the patterns that way. There's 2 ways that you can get this Painted Seasons Designer Series paper. You can get it as a bundle for free, paper and the Painted Seasons stamp set, free with a $100 purchase during Sale-a-bration. So really awesome product right here. What a great way to stretch your stamping dollars. I've been suggesting to my customers that they take a look at the annual catalog because we're going to come up on the retirement list pretty soon, and it's unbundling time. So once the retirement list comes out, products sell out quickly, and once a product is in its second publication, there's no longer a bundle discount. So take a look at those bundles and see if there's bundle discounts you want to grab. The in colors that are retiring, the 2018, 2000, or the 2017, 2019 in colors, those are all going to retire this catalog. Take a look at those things and place your orders during Sale-a-bration. You can really stretch your stamping dollars a whole lot further, especially with a great bundle like this. I mean, this is a lot of value right here. So Painted Seasons is only available for free with the Painted Seasons bundle during Sale-a-bration. The Painted Seasons Designer Series paper can be redeemed with a $50 purchase. So this paper is free. Let me just show you the patterns really quickly here because they're awesome. Got the spring with the flowers, winter with those gorgeous pine cones and berries, fall with the mushrooms and leaves, and then summer with the succulents. And then the B-sides of these papers, let me show you here. There's a gorgeous Calypso Coral Starburst pattern. I love this Poppy Parade dot pattern. Here's a pool party, like a herringbone or chevron. And then there's this Call Me Clover. It's kind of like a Greek key pattern. Love this paper. Stamp set's awesome too. All right, so those are celebration items that are only available as gifts with your purchases of $50 or more through the end of the month. Then we used for our sentiment time or home to roost. I'm using Missing You on the ones that I'm making. I also used this Thanks for Your Friendship. Love this stamp set. This is free with a $50 purchase. This is a card that I made with that. This is one of my newsletter subscriber exclusives. So if you don't subscribe to the Kitchen Table Stamper newsletter, you should do that. It's if you go to kitchentablestamper.com, in the right-hand corner on the sidebar is a box where you can subscribe and you won't miss any projects. That's Home to Roost. That's free with a $50 purchase. Kathy loves the Painted Season bundles. Winann loves the colors in this paper, right? Isn't it a great color palette to work with? Let's see here. What else do we need? Stampin' pads for this project are Grapefruit Grove, Call Me Clover, and Soft Suede. I have a 1/8 inch handheld circle punch. I used my story label punch for this one. This is one of the Sale-a-bration coordination products. So this is available through the end of the month. And this punch is $18 and it coordinates with the Part of My Story. So if you got the Part of My Story stamp set free with your Sale-a-bration orders, this punch coordinates with all those greetings. We used that one here. If you see, I just cut the tail end of it. And we're going to use that on the card. So we'll just punch half of one of those in soft suede and use it for our embellishment. What other supplies do I have here? I've got, so the Painted Seasons stamp set for the Sale-a-bration coordination has 4 Seasons framelit dies. Those are dies that coordinate with the Painted Seasons bundle. We're going to use those today to cut out our flowers. And these are $28 during Sale-a-bration coordination through the end of the month only. I did something a little bit ahead here. So I've got a little scrap of Whisper White and I stamped my flower in soft suede and let it dry. So there's a scrap of Whisper White. We've also got Whisper White that is 3 3/4 by 3 7/8. And I've got one that's about 2 1/8 by 4 1/4. So those are our Whisper White. Card base is Pool Party, and it is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and it's scored at 4 1/4, standard card base. Hi, Barbara from Tucson. Thank you for sharing. I've got that soft suede. It's half of the story label punch, so I just punched it out, cut it in half. What we're going to do is we're going to take our little 1/8 inch handheld punch, and we're going to punch right in the center here, and it's going to make a fun little embellishment. We'll tie our linen thread on there. So I got about 9 inches of linen thread here. My Designer Series paper from the Painted Seasons Designer Series paper is 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. And the Poppy Parade pattern is 1/2 by 3 3/4. Something that we want to do right from the start here, because our Whisper White rectangle for stamping is 3 7/8 by 3 3/4. So we want to just line this up and make sure that we've got our orientation right. Because if we go the 3 7/8 inch side, your Designer Series papers are going to be a little short. So check that before you start stamping. Hey Kay, thanks for sharing. We're making this fun So Long celebration card. Hi Rhonda, don't worry, you're not late. I just said that it's the end of celebration. Don't miss these great products. I'll show you them as we use them. Free products with $50 orders, with $100 orders. For every 50 or every 100 that you spend, there's still some awesome free products available. So don't wait till the last minute to place your celebration orders. All right, so let's get started with stamping here. I need a little stretch paper to protect my surface here. So I have a piece of foam book. I'm going to bring that in. Now, we're going to start on this Whisper White piece here. That's 3 3/4 by 3 7/8. It's just a little bit wide of square, so you want to make sure that you've got your orientation right before you start stamping. Let me get our Stampin' pads here. Grapefruit Grove. Let me pull this down just a little bit and slide these guys to the side just a little bit. All right, soft suede. Thank you to everybody who's sharing. I love it. I was saying, if you've got celebration orders or orders that you want to earn free celebration products on, don't wait till the last minute this weekend. All right, so I've got this gorgeous, distinctive flower from our, here it is, from our Painted Seasons stamp set. This is free with a $100 purchase. You get the stamp set and the Painted Season Designer Series paper that we're using today. All right, so I'm inking up and stamping 3 times, and you want just about a 1/4 inch from the top there. Then I'm going to rotate and stamp again. And now here, you want to make sure that this flower is up high enough. So we're going to stamp a 3rd flower. Now, while we're inked up with the Grapefruit Grove, I'm going to grab my scrap of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp a 3rd flower. I'm going to stamp it right in the center of this scrap here. Now at this point, I would clean this stamp, and I would stamp in soft suede for my flower centers. You could, before you stamp, if you like to, you can ink up in the Grapefruit Grove and then grab your soft suede marker and marker the center of the flower. Or you could, after you stamp your Grapefruit Grove flower, you could go in and do your flower center by coloring with a Stampin' Write or a Stampin' Blend marker. I am better at fussy cutting than I am at markering a stamp. You know, like when you use a brush tip to color multicolor. So I chose to stamp mine in soft suede, and I'm just going to cut them out and paper piece them. All right, so I've got my Call Me Clover ink pad and this little leaf from the Painted Seasons stamp set. I'm going to stamp 2 leaves, and we're going to die cut those using the framelits that are available at Celebration Coordinations. So we can go ahead and just tack these down with a little bit of washi tape. And the nice part is I can run this through all in one pass, because the framelits come with a couple of the leaves, a couple of each of the leaves, actually a couple of the pine boughs, and so you can run multiples all in one to get that dimensional look without a lot of extra passes through the big shot. All right, so I got those all lined up. I'm going to just pass them through the big shot. My daughter Violet's here, so I'm going to have her crank those. Violet, will you crank those for me while I finish up here? Okay. Now what you want to do is add a little bit of greenery to the background here. And what I did was put some leaves off the top. I found that it's really important with this stamp to just position it and stamp it and kind of hold it. I've been missing the top of the leaf here. So if I just slow down a little bit, I get a better impression. And I'm going to stamp a few of those to just kind of fill in here. See? Now, I'm using my Missing You sentiment. So I'm going to ink that one up in soft suede. Stamp that one right in the upper right here. Ah, I jiggled it. And then my Missing You sentiment or Thanks for Your Friendship. Those are from Home to Roost. All right. Now, while Violet's cranking my big shot pieces, I'm just going to take scissors and very roughly, I'm really just kind of doing a bubble cut here. I'm cutting out the centers of the flowers. I had stamped them in soft suede and let them dry. And that's how I'm going to get my little two-tone flower here. but you can go through and instead of cutting a separate layer, you could just ink that up with a soft suede marker after you ink the stamp on Grapefruit Grove. It won't hurt your marker as long as you don't, make a habit of doing it all the time. The soft suede is a darker color than the Grapefruit Grove, so you can color right over the Grapefruit Grove ink and do it that way. Could probably bring a sponge dauber to the inked Grapefruit Grove stamp too. But I'm a good fussy cutter, and I prefer to cut over try to get a multiple color image. How about you guys? Are you good fussy cutters? Do you like to cut? I find it kind of relaxing, honestly. All right, so there's my little flower centers. See what I mean? I just kind of bubble cut them, no big deal. Here are my leaves and my Painted Seasons flower. Let me get this out of here, and I'm gonna close up the ink pads before I put my project in. Casey, Kay's not a good cutter, huh? It's not therapeutic for you. Hello, Avenel. I'm happy to see you. Happy Friday. All right, let me get those out of the way. Now, I'm gonna go back to sitting down here. Still doing a lot of sitting while I stamp. All right, I'm gonna take multi-purpose liquid glue and just glue these little centers on. It only takes the littlest dab to get them. And I like the way that looks too. So if you're like Kay and you're not a fan of fussy cutting, then just before you stamp, bring the soft suede marker to the center of the flower, and you'll get that same two-tone effect. All right. Now, let's get this dude assembled. There's not a lot to this card. It's beautiful and dimensional with those little popped up flowers, the leaves that cross the edge of the border here off of your stamped panel and then cross over onto the designer series paper. That little story label punch with the twine. There's just a whole lot of dimension there, but it's not a complicated card at all. All right. Verna likes to fussy cut a lot also. You are my kind of gal, Verna. Kathy's not a big fan of the fussy cut, huh? I can't help it. Like, I used to work in a restaurant, and I thought that rolling the silverware in the napkins was super therapeutic too. Like the end of the shift where I got to sit there and roll silverware into napkins, I don't know. That's just good relaxing work for me. All right, so I've got my 2 flower centers. You don't have to bother with that one because what we're gonna do, center your flower panel left, right, and top with a even border. Then you'll take your designer series paper with the Call Me Clover like Greek key pattern, and we're going to overlap here. Then I've got my little half a label with the 1/8 inch circle punch in it. It's a little long, so we're gonna go a little less than half. And I'm going to adhere with some, you can use snail. I've got my fast fuse. We're gonna adhere that right to the edge along the top of that paper. Now you can slide your linen thread through here. You could, of course, slide it through there before you glue it down, but I like to glue it down, and I'll tell you why, because a lot of people have trouble tying bows, right? So if you adhere it down, you've got an anchored place to work from, and that'll help you get a neater bow. All right, so when you're tying, you've got your fiber or your ribbon, and it's vertical to start with. You're gonna bring the top down and the bottom over. Now you see you've gone from vertical to horizontal. And in your dominant hand, you're going to lift and pinch. There's no twisting here. If you twist here, that's how your tails get up and your ears get down. Then you'll take your non-dominant hand, go over the top of that loop, fingertip to fingertip, and then pull. There's your bow. See how your ears are up, your tails are down? Just need a little finesse, so you'll hold the center, pull the tails, got the ears about the size you like, then snip off the excess. I think that was 10 inches, so you probably won't need a full 10. I snipped off a lot of excess there. Then to clean up and finish the edges, we'll take this Poppy Parade. Oh, I love those mushrooms. It's such a shame to glue them down. Hi, Pam. Thank you. Pam says, beautiful card, and I say thank you very much. I love this Painted Seasons stamp set, designer series paper, the 4 seasons framelits, all of this stuff. There's really, really great stuff still available for free during Sale-a-bration. Don't wait till the last minute. Berna says, love that you use a small part of the punch as a bow instead of an added element. Didn't think I've seen that before, or don't think I've seen that before. Well, thank you, Berna. Love how it adds that little bit of soft suede to tie together with the flower centers. So it was actually something that I went back and did after because I felt like I needed a little bit more soft suede to anchor it down. All right, let's see here. I need some dimensionals. Got those guys right here. And I'm gonna take a few half minis. I like to spread out my adhesive. I use a lot, but I cut it up and spread it out. So I got 3 half mini dimensionals. And then I snipped off the stems of my leaves. So now I've got my dimensionals, but before I make them sticky, I'm gonna kind of audition where I want this flower to sit because I want these leaves to really show off. I want them to go past, like outside the box. I want them to go past the edge of the panel there that we stamped on. And then I want them to overlay the designer series paper. Just really pulls our floral images outside the box. So now that I've got it dry fit, I'll take my multi-purpose liquid glue and I'll get in here and just glue down one element at a time. So a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on those leaves. Get them kind of back in where I want them. We don't want them to pass the edge of the card, but we do want them to pass the edge of our Stamped Whisper white panel. And then get our other set of leaves glued on over the designer series paper. Such a quick card today, but really important one. I just wanted to really get out here with some beautiful Sale-a-bration stuff and remind you that the fun ends Sunday. The party's almost over, but it isn't over yet. So if you haven't gotten your Painted Seasons designer series paper or bundle, if you haven't gotten your story label punch, or the 4 seasons framelits, Home to Roost stamp set. Got great freebies still, but don't wait until the last minute because Sale-a-bration ends on a weekend this year. And we don't want you to miss out due to technical difficulties or products selling out. All right, I like that placement, and there it is. Either missing you or thanks for your friendship. Barbara says, that's so pretty. I love this set. Isn't it just a great bundle of products? I really think that on a lot of things Stampin' Up! Outdid themselves. This Painted Seasons bundle will be a staple for your card making all year round. And then items like the story label punch and the Sale-a-bration coordination that'll work with your Part of My Story stamp set. Here's some examples of that. Here's the Part of My Story. Here's To Those Who Inspire Us and Don't Even Know It. That's from Part of My Story. And You're My Chosen Family. That's from Part of My Story. And those are punched out with the story label punch. Don't miss out on the Country Floral Textured Impression Embossing folder. That's still available with a $50 purchase. The Four Seasons framelets that coordinate with your Painted Seasons bundle. Those are still available from the Sale-a-bration coordination. These are $28, $18, free. Paper's free. Part of my story or the country floral embossing folder, free. Home to Roost, free. So if you're holding out on an order, last time I'm going to say it, don't wait till the last minute. When Ann says beautiful card, thank you. Barbara says, and that embossing folder. I know, isn't it gorgeous? Newsletter subscribers got this tutorial. This is a fun letterpress technique where you color and spritz the folder and then emboss. There's that story label punch again. All right, so awesome stuff still left for Sale-a-bration. Plenty of time to get your order in. Don't wait till the last minute. If you've never taken a class with Kitchen Table Stamper, check out the Flowering Desert class. It's for Wow Your Friends cards and the Flowering Desert stamp set. If you've got the Flowering Desert stamp set, you can substitute for $30. If you need shipping, it's $8 priority mail. You can register for that at kitchentablestamper.com/online classroom. Kathy says, thank you. Beautiful card today. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. All right, I am off to go and do some creative. I've got a paper and ink card class to design for April. So hopefully you'll see that after the weekend. Thank you, Terry. Terry says beautiful cards. All right, you guys, get your Sale-a-bration orders in. Email me, Marisa, at kitchentablestamper.com if I can help you. Don't forget, kitchenettes get Kitchen Table Stamper online classes for free. If you're thinking about joining Stampin' Up, $50 in bonus product this month only. I'd love for you to be a kitchenette. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Friday. Bye, guys.